So you've seen the specialists, had a colonoscopy, and everything's come back normal, and you've been labelled with this IBS, and yet it seems like it's more connected with the mind, because it's not always about needing a bathroom right away. Often it's more of an internal mental dialogue. You start thinking things like, what if I eat a particular food and get sick? What if I can't get to a bathroom? And of course, this makes traveling stressful. It can make you irritable and anxious and fearful to the point it affects not just your social life but day-to-day situations as well. Constantly overthinking what you should or shouldn't eat, mapping out where the nearest toilet is, and trying to plan everything is exhausting. And you might wonder if this is just IBS or is it some part of the brain acting up? Because there is this overlap between the physical IBS symptoms and the obsessive looping thoughts. It's very real. And for many, what starts as an IBS label, which can sometimes feel like a dismissal or a brush off from the medical community, it gradually becomes something more mental, more anticipatory, more about the fear of the fear itself. And when we start asking, what if I eat XYZ and get sick? What if I can't find a bathroom? What we're really seeing is the mind stepping into a kind of obsessive compulsive pattern. Not always full OCD, but absolutely OCD-like in structure. And that's because the root of this, it isn't just in the gut, it's in the subconscious mind. And the subconscious isn't logical. It doesn't care if your tests came back normal. It only cares about keeping you safe, even if that means misreading every social invitation or travel plan as a potential threat. The brain gets stuck in this hypervigilant loop, scanning, anticipating, trying to prevent disaster. And over time, the body starts reacting to imagined danger in the same way it would react to actual danger, by creating urgency, discomfort, and more fear. And you've probably already tried the CBT, food diaries, maybe medication or supplements, and you might have had short-term relief, but nothing has shifted this on a deep level. And that's because most conventional methods, they're trying to change your outward behaviour by treating this as a conscious problem. But it isn't. It's an unconscious emotional program that's running in the background. And logic alone, it won't rewrite that code. Because here's what's really going on. Your subconscious formed a belief at some point that not being close to a toilet is dangerous, and that being in control of bathroom access perhaps keeps some unmet need satisfied. It's keeping something appeased, and by acting on the obsessive intrusive thoughts, it scratches an itch, as it were, of some association that's been made. Something in the mind is benefiting from this behaviour more than just the obvious avoidance of embarrassment and perhaps judgment. And that belief has taken root. Rules of engagement, rules of behaviour have been established to honour that belief. And every time you avoid something, or plan around toilets, or restrict your eating, you're actually reinforcing that belief and reinforcing this pattern of fear. And that's why it doesn't go away. And coping just isn't enough anymore. So what is the underlying belief or connection or association that's providing the fuel for this problem? How is the brain benefiting from this behaviour? And the answer, it often never makes sense logically, because it's emotional. So an effective approach is to dive under the surface of this fear, to examine the beliefs and the operating rules that maintain the anxiety. It's these rules and beliefs which act as a default operating system, running in the background, or what we can call the subconscious. And this has to be the focus of any effective treatment, because they are the things maintaining the toilet anxiety. So by getting insight into what's really going on, the true origin of this problem, and very often it's not what we think it is, getting this insight, it gives the mind permission to let go of the anxious behaviour and instead adopt more useful and beneficial rules which let us live without being restricted, so your body and brain can finally relax, which means no more constant scanning for toilets, no more anxiety around travelling or around eating, no more obsessive planning, and no more wondering if it's just IBS or just in the head. Instead, just confidence and trust in your body again.